Hello everybody, my name is Scatter. Welcome back to Divine Journey 2. So let me just tell you what happened before I started recording just now. I came back, I left the game open for a while, and I came back and I was, standing on my block, and I realized, I didn't realize, it was immediately apparent that I just had permanent nausea. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? And I asked about it in the Discord, and they were like, do you have no life essence? And I checked, and sure enough, it was at 0. So I came down here to debug, having nausea the entire time, and like this thing was full. It was full of blood. The orb was still in it. I was like, why the hell am I not getting life essence? And some of this netherrack had gotten knocked out or deleted somehow. I still have no idea what caused it, but I guess that caused the altar to be a tier 2, and I didn't realize this, but I guess the blood orbs, they only work with like a blood altar that's at least their tier, right? So even though the orb was in here because it's a tier 4 orb and a tier 2 altar, it just wasn't sucking up the life essence. So really strange problem, because I have no idea what took out the netherrack, but I fixed it. And I mean, like, is this chunk claimed? I can't even get to the chunk claim thing now. I'm sure I can in the settings somewhere, but I just won't worry about it. I'm sure this chunk is claimed though. It might not be chunk loaded, but I'm sure that it's claimed. But really weird problem. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Anyway, today, we're going to finish up Abyssalcraft and fight the final boss, which is exciting, but we have to do some stuff first. So this is the first thing we need to do. We need to do the Ritual of Shadows, and it doesn't look too bad. Just some Corrosive Will Crystals, which is going to be pretty easy to get. Rune of Winter, we can auto-craft just fine. Inverted Potentia, Strike with Lightning to Empower. Now this I don't know about. And Block of Thaxium and Oblivion Catalyst. We've made some up before, but let's check out Inverted Potentia, okay? So I'm going to have to strike it with lightning, which means I may have to get another one of those wands that causes a thunderstorm, or I could just wait for one naturally. But to make it, it looks like I just smelt together a suppression core, a Potentia sphere, and a redstone torch. Potency core. Okay, so this isn't like ridiculous to make, I guess. We know how to make all that. And then another, we'll bookmark that, and then another Oblivion Catalyst, which is, kind of a rough item to make, but it's okay. We can grab one. Sacrifice required. This should be the last one we need, I think. So it shouldn't be too bad, all things considered. And then I need some dark Thaxium bricks to make the actual thing, which is just Omethal stone and Thaxium. And I guess I don't have any Omethal stone, but I can just grab some from that dimension. So let me get everything prepared for this, and then we can go do the dang thing. I am having to do a little bit of manual crafting here, solely because I forgot to put this interface on blocking mode when I moved it over, so this chest did get a little bit cluttered, but that's okay. That's perfectly okay. All that we got to do is, well, I think I just did it. I just fixed it. So there we go. Just a little bit of manual intervention needed. Nothing to worry too much about. I figured while we were at the Abyssalcraft stuff, we might as well upgrade the Staff of Rending to the last tier. I don't think we're going to use it for anything at this point, but if we're going to be done with Abyssalcraft, that just means this is going to be a chore to do later. So, because I do eventually want to finish out the quest book, regardless of how much of a faraway pipe dream that may seem at most times, I figured might as well do that now. And I thought I might be able to, be efficient and do this sort of along the way to the final boss, but because we need a full Abyssal Nomicon for that, we are going to need to make 2 trips anyway. So there is that quest anyway. We get a couple dark cores for free. Which is really nice, but it was just a little side quest here, so don't get too excited. I'm surprised I have to do this now because it didn't seem to be a problem yet, or at all until now, but I wasn't able to autocraft a soul vial because it was trying to autocraft it using the filled soul vial this way, so I thought it could be a little clever way to, kind of make it so the system would recycle them if I had like some big crafts to do, but it just kind of got stuck on making them. So I guess there was some kind of error, and I assumed that the system would be smart enough to, make it a different way if it didn't have access to a soul vial in the first place. But apparently not. But that should be okay, and I should still be able to autocraft these now. Yeah, there we go. So this is still going to be stuck on there. And this is for the inverted potentia, so I can just cancel that and restart it here. And we get the inverted potentia. So that shouldn't take too long. We don't have too much more left to do here. Now, now this is my problem, I think, because I didn't have... I might put the soul vials back in then, because maybe the system was fine. I did spend some time farming up witches here, so that was probably my main problem. But you know what? To be honest with you, I don't really care about recycling the soul vials. They're not expensive. It's going to be totally fine if they don't get recycled. So there we go. Okay, and we have our inverted potentia here. If we take a look at the crafting recipes, it does have an environmental accumulator recipe here. So the lightning bolt, I guess, turns this into this, but then there's rain here too. I don't really know how this crafting menu works, but if you do take a look at it, it's the same thing that turns... Well, no, you get thunderstruck out of rain and sun, it looks like. Maybe JEI is just a little weird here because... Yeah, I don't know what the two sides of this are, but I assume when it is thundering, you can just right-click the environmental accumulator and turn it into the correct thing. So we're going to go try it. I did make another Scepter of Thunder, which they are pretty cheap, to be honest. Like, it's just a rune. Like, I thought this was an expensive kind of craft. Not expensive, but annoying. But now that I just mined up a bunch of them in Omethal, it's totally fine. And then it's just a few of this, especially now that Will and Life Force is automated. This whole thing is a lot less annoying now than it maybe once was. So let's come over here. Let's make it rain. And so it's starting. I do kind of want to wait until the first lightning bolt just to make sure that it's sort of the right thing. I really hope this works. There are two recipes here. One is in a sanguinary environmental accumulator, and one is just in the regular environmental accumulator. I assume you can do the same crafting recipes in all. Maybe this one, you can just choose the weather and it takes blood. I don't know, but let's throw it in. There we go. Charge is depleting. Okay. And there we have the inverted potentia. So with that, I should have everything we need to do the Ritual of Darkness, I believe it was called. The final one to spawn the final boss. Let's check our PE. We're almost there. I'll let that charge up and meet you in Omethal. Okay, well, here we are. And just to make sure I'm not about to do something very stupid, let's have a look at this quest. Jump down into the void in Omethal to enter the final abyssal craft dimension, the Dark Realm. Now, I didn't bring the key. I think that's fine. Let's go. All right, here we are. As soon as it loads in. Here in Omethal. So it looks like it kicked hover mode back on for us. It's very dark here. So apologies, because I know this is going to be kind of hard to see on the video. But there are some mushrooms growing. Yeah, not much going on here. However, we do need to make our ritual once again, of course. So that's just going to be sort of the same as it's always been. Just with these dark Ethaxium bricks. I would prefer this to stop happening. Okay. You need to get out of here. I need to get some bullets in my inventory. There we go. Okay. And so it's going to be 4 corrosive will crystals, Oblivion Catalyst, Rune of Winter, Block of Ethaxium, and Inverted Potentia. A little bit of lag there, let you dodge me for just a second. And if we take a look, summons Sakthoth, Harbinger of Doom from the Dark Realm. Offer him your most valuable items and as much potential energy as you can hold. Maybe he'll appear. Well, he better. I don't know if I would call these the most valuable items, but... it is, of course, not working right now, and I don't know why that would possibly be. Oh, you have to do it directly on the pedestal, not just shift-click nearby. That makes enough sense for me. Slowly draining. I'm not too worried about the boss fight. A little bit loud. A little bit loud. Turned it down significantly. I'm unleashed. Feel the wrath of the Dark Realm. Mortal. Your projectiles can't harm me. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no. Okay, well, that's how this is going to go then. Now, I can't... Wow, I'm dying quick. I don't know. It's hard to tell if he's supposed to be invisible. Yeah, probably, right? Probably, right? So it looks like we're going to do a lot of these sort of drive-by hits. And that's doing a decent amount of damage to him. He's doing a hell of a lot of damage to me. But I can just kind of dodge and recharge for a little bit. We do have unending bowl strats going. So it's going to be fine. A little bit of lag there. Took a while to catch up. So it looks like he doesn't have a crazy amount of health. The hard part is how much damage he does to you. But with the jetpack and the unending bowl and the meat feeder, I think it's not going to be an issue whatsoever. It's just going to be a little tedious. So I'll just make sure not to do anything stupid, like stay in range of him for long enough that I actually die, or anything like that. And I don't think I can keep talking and saying interesting things for the rest of this fight, because it is just going to be this for the foreseeable future. So I will cut back when he's almost dead, unless something interesting happens. Yeah, I mean, this fight has just been pretty samey start to finish. Unless there's going to be like a phase 2 or something, which always could be. Let's see. No, he's dropped his things there. Lots of little shadow creatures. Which is fine. Let's head in. No death dialogue even or anything like that. So we did get a sword. Souls harvested. 2,000 durability. And 30 damage. Which we have, what, 613 on here. So this is a pretty crazy good sword. So maybe we'll start using that. The fact that you get it so late tells me that maybe we should. But there we go. So what has that actually done for us? This is probably to do with the soul thing. It was just telling us, slay mobs with Sackthos Soul Reaper Braid to fill it up with souls. The more souls you collect, the stronger the weapon gets. Once enough souls has been collected, craft a soul extractor and combine it with the sword to remove the souls. Okay, so soul extractor. Omethal soul. So this stuff is not too hard to get. Okay, a few of these cores. That's fine. That's fine. And then I assume we get as many souls out as there are. So souls harvested 0. And I'm assuming right now souls are just going to be mob kills. Maybe it's going to be more closely tied to like health or something like that. Souls harvested 1. No, I think it's fine. It's not even one hitting the shadow monsters. I guess they do have 50 health, to be fair. Can't really expect that to one hit them. I wonder, though, what these souls are going to be used for. Let's check it out quickly here. So souls. Soul of the Dark Realm. Oh, sparks from Botania. Okay. Definitely going to need a few of those. Book of the Alchemist from Project E. I guess that's just going to be our book, I would assume. Demon Blood Shard. So it's hard to tell at this point if this is going to be a crafting thing. Oh, that's how you make the next tier of Blood Orb. Good to know. Oh, and you need it for the green heart. Okay, well, this is actually the last thing that we need progress-wise in order to get the green hearts. It looks like they take like a full mana pool as well. But yeah, I guess we're going to get the next level of hearts up pretty soon. Not that we super need it, but it's always going to be nice to have, especially if I need to do any more manual sacrificing for the blood altar, which at this point, maybe not. But yeah, it looks like the souls are pretty easy to get anyway, assuming that this soul extractor is reusable, which I certainly hope it is. But you never really know, do you? So I've killed like probably 20 things, right? 21 souls. Well, I guess when I said that, it was exactly 20. So yeah, assuming that this doesn't actually have to be mobs killed here, I think I have enough at this point to leave and at least go test that. Let's just get this guy and these little guys up here. Just while we're in the vicinity. Okay. So I guess it's time to go back and let's get started on making the soul extractor. The only thing I need for the soul extractor that I don't currently have is Omethal souls, and these are just made from a few drops from the mobs here, Eldritch Scale and Omethal Ghoul Flesh. So, like, I mean, I could take some of these and get them set back up in the, some powered spawners back home, but I don't really think that's super incredibly worth it when you can just kind of kill them and it's pretty easy. I mean, I have 8 of the scales right now. I only need 2 of these, so which means I need 10 scales and 8 flesh. So it's not going to be too bad at all to do this now. Again, I don't know if I need multiples of these, and the souls are used for the swirl of the depths, and that's the only other thing. So maybe I'll need to get some more later. At that point, if I need a lot, I will probably just do the powered spawner thing, but for now, I think this is going to be fine. Also, this sword does 30 damage just baseline, which is as much as the gun, which is insane, first of all. But if you can enchant it, this is about to be like easily the best weapon that we have access to. So I will definitely see about enchanting it. Not sure if it's going to be possible, but really I don't see why not. I at least hope I can put mending on it, because even though the durability is really high, you know, I would love for it to be infinite, because that's, you know, always going to be better. But yeah, I'll definitely do that at some point, most likely between episodes, because that's not a super high priority right now. Looks like we have enough scales already, so I'll just focus on these guys for the flesh, and then we can extract some of these souls. Okay, the soul extractor, really not too bad to make at all. The cores do feel a little bit hard to make, but again, now that LP and Will are totally automated and I don't have to worry about it, the only other thing I want to get set up is a set of alchemy tables to do passive, because I think going forward, any of the higher tier essences are just going to be completely unscalable, because they do grow in processing time exponentially if you're using the same alchemy table for all of them. And, you know, especially that gets mitigated if you passive some of those ingredients, of course. So at least the catalysts, maybe some of the base tier essences as well. But yeah, definitely want to get multiple alchemy tables set up. That is unquestionably something I need to do. Now, the soul extractor, please be multiple use, please. If it has durability, that's fine. Okay, it does have durability, but what is the durability going to be? 1024. I'm happy with that. I'm super insanely happy with it. So we just pulled out all 48 of our souls, and we're pretty much sitting pretty on it, so not to worry about that at all. Now, Britannia, right. So sparks from Britannia are, I mean, basically kind of like conduits, as I understand it. Like they're like transfer nodes for, I think for mana, but possibly it's something else. I don't know. It's strange. I've never had my head fully wrapped around Britannia, but here is the terrestrial agglomeration plate, and this, along with the sparks, are what's going to allow us to craft Terra Steel. Okay, so it's out of. Okay, so it doesn't say how to make it, but that's fine. So we are going to need some more of these souls, 3 potency cores, which I'll kick off right now, just so we don't have to wait around for them. What are you missing? Oh, lots of stuff. Aerogel, which is annoying. That's annoying. It's pretty much everything here is super annoying to make. So I got to go make more aerogel. We're close. As soon as we get Terra Steel, we're technically going to be able to break into further into Chapter 16, Mystical Agriculture, at which point we're going to be able to auto-craft aerogel with essences and not have to worry about the mechanical user crashing the ether. Not going to have to worry about any of that. Lily pads, however, you can make with just nature essence, and I do have about 2,500 of them, so I did have the foresight to set that up before, because I figured lily pads, you know, pretty difficult to automate otherwise. So let's just make a crafting pattern for that and throw them in there, so now we won't have to worry about it until if and when we run out of nature essence. And I mean, I have this 2,500, like, I've left the game running for a couple days, but like, it's from one essence plant, right? So like, once we get to the point where we're making lots of mystical agriculture seeds, we're going to have, you know, essences out the wazoo, but just for right now, it's not quite there. Aerogel is going to be something we definitely need to do. And then it's funny that I still don't have the potion auto crafting set up, because it wouldn't even be that hard to do. I just need to make multiple potion brewers. I just don't. Whenever I need these potions, I just craft them manually for now, because I still don't need like a crazy amount, you know what I mean? It's like not a totally insane thing to do this, I promise. Okay, and then we can just throw in a bunch of these. I mean, like, it's basically auto crafting, right? I said coping. So it's that, and then it's going to be aerogel, some basalts powder, which I'm going to have to wait for another stack of that to autocraft, but that's fine. By the time I get the aerogel, it'll probably be pretty much there. And let me just bookmark this. So I do need also all the seasonal runes, which are the tier 4 ones. Let's see if I can kick those off. Actually, no, before I do that, I am going to do something that was recommended to me, but I see the necessity for it because I did have something happen the other day. This was during an episode, if you caught it, where the item crafted from the runic altar kind of jumped out of it and didn't get picked up by the integrated dynamics or integrated tunnels world item importer. So what I'm going to do here is follow some advice that somebody in the comments gave, which was simply that you can automate this thing only by just having another mechanical user on the other side. So this one just always clicks with the wand of the forest, and then I just have another one connected to it that's just going to right click with everything and put it on there, and then I just have the interface insert into it with blocking mode, and it'll, you know, use up the living rock when it's ready. Before that it won't, and that is just going to be lovely and simple, and I regret not setting something like that up earlier. So I will just move that down and put a mechanical user nearby. Okay, so that looks good. I still have this variable store here because I just don't want to pull all these out into my inventory and clear them all because that's annoying, but I'll do it at some point. Probably the next time I get some ID stuff set up. But you may be saying to yourself, Scatter, how in the Sam hell does this mechanical user setup prevent the items from popping out to somewhere where they can't be grabbed? And the simple answer is it doesn't. What it does do is allow us, because we're not going to be dropping items onto it, nor leaving an item on it, to use the unfilterable absorption hopper in order to pick up the items. Now, the drawback here is that this is so close to the endoflame setup that if these drop coal, this is going to pick those up. So what I have to do here is show the area and make sure that it's moved over a little bit. Not that direction. Make sure it's moved over a little bit so that it encompasses only, I'm even going to do just a little bit more. It encompasses only the area surrounding the runic altar and not the area of the endoflame. So I think that should be fine. But yeah, so basically, because we're going to be right-clicking the items directly onto the runic altar, nothing is ever going to be, you know, put out into the world until the craft is done. It'll pop out. It'll be collected by this no matter where it pops out to. Like, it's not popping out like more than a block away. This is going to be fine. And if it does, we can probably get away with moving this down left another block, and that should be totally fine then as well. And the only thing here, up item, make sure you put yourself back into the system. Now, the one issue here is that, like, in theory, crafts might never finish only because the mechanical user is going to have to do random slot. But, like, you know, realistically, they'll finish in a pretty reasonable time, I think. But, yeah, it's going to have to be random slot, so that's a little bit of a drawback. This is on blocking mode for sure, and this will just keep the living rock in it until such time that it's ready for a new craft. And I think that should work. Let's go ahead and test it out, because we do need one of each of the seasonal runes. So we have spring, we have summer, we need a winter, and we need a autumn. Okay, thankfully we have enough to craft those. Let's head over to it and just make sure that it's all working nicely right now. So right now it isn't. Because, of course, I forgot to put it on redstone pulse, right? That's it, right? Maybe use item on block. I mean, it is a different sort of thing you're doing than right-clicking with the wand. You're, like, putting them on. So maybe activate block with item. There we go. So that's looking like it's working. Now, I just saw you tried to put the living rock out. Oh, no. The living rock comes out. The living rock still just comes out onto it. And I assume it just got pulled back into the system. That's not going to do at all. I think what we're going to need then, and this is going to be so stupid, just a mechanical user that we just keep full of living rock. And it just constantly outputs, constantly right clicks. That's so insanely stupid. I am going to play around with this a bit and just see if maybe some of the other settings allow you to still have it working in the same way, but not output the living rock. That's a totally possible. So let's see, use item maybe, entity, generic click, place block. That's not going to work. And activate block with item is going to be what it is. Activate, activate block with item didn't even work. Because it is getting just picked up before it has the chance. If we turn this off, just so we can make sure what's happening here. That time it did work, but hold up. Where is it going? It is going in here. It's just still getting extracted out. Absorption hoppers are so stupid. It's still getting extracted out. I wish there was a way to filter this. Oh, there is a really stupid way to do this, isn't there? Hopper to the interface. Filter. Blacklist living rock. Hopper back into the mechanical user. This is so stupid. Filter. Whitelist living rock. Right? And this is going to just work. Uh-huh. Correct? Because even if this does get horrifically... And it's on random slot, so I guess it's going to take a while to try it again. And it just has to wait until it's successful. But eventually it will be. And it'll craft the thing. God, this is so insanely stupid. Why does it work like this? Why can't you filter absorption hoppers? Why can't you set like a pickup delay on them? Why can't you just right-click living rock onto this? Why does it have to just drop it? Why is any of this? Look at that. It's just constantly just picking it up. You just have to get like lucky on the tick. Wow. That's so dumb. There has to be a way. I'm asking about this in the Discord right now. Okay, well, the solution is to just use an item picker-upper that lets you filter, which is fair, I guess. Like, it makes enough sense. So I was recommended both the ranged collector from Actually Editions and the vacuum chest from Ender.io. I'm fairly certain the ranged collector doesn't use power. So I'm going to go for that one. I don't know if the other one does, but whether it does or not, I'll just go with this one. If this one doesn't suit our needs, we can always make the other one and probably find a purpose for this somewhere down the line. But yeah, I'm not feeling stupid. That's a bit strong, but I'm just like sad. I'm overwhelmingly sad about it, that it works in the way that it does. I don't know. But there's the ranged collector. This is filterable, I am told. There goes our coal. So let's see about filtering this in a way that works. So I guess we don't need this regardless. This... Well, you should never want to... You're never going to pick up living rocks, so you don't need to filter that either. Assuming this works as I want it to. So let's see. Range collector, whitelist, metadata. Okay, so I changed this to a blacklist. We blacklist living rock. And while I'm at it, I will go ahead and blacklist blocks of coal as well, just in case it is in the range of those, and I don't see the range on here. Compare the mods items come from. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to want to blacklist coal as well, since I don't see a way to control the range on there. Okay, yeah. That works pretty damn perfectly, I think. Cool, very cool. Yep, so I guess this is just kind of a perfect setup, and I shouldn't have to worry about that anymore. Cool. Okay, just waiting on some potency cores. But in the meantime, we can grab some of these crystallized methane clusters. We actually have just enough. I did just mine these up from Omethol. However, they can be made by combining hydrogen and carbon, which you can of course make from water, for example, and coal, and then combine them together to make methane. So that's a little bit of a tedious way to do it. I'm sure I can automate the crystallizer and even the transmutator. I know I can, unless for some reason you can't pipe in or out of these, which would be insanely stupid, but I'm sure you can. So if we do need much more of this in the future, I'll definitely get on that. But 8 is going to be exactly how many we need, because just surrounding a soul of the oh my god, soul of the dark realm with them is how you get the spark from Botania. So I'll let that finish up. I'll let the potency course finish up as well, and then we can prepare ourselves for Terra Steel. We won't quite get to making any today, but that's a good thing to look forward to tomorrow. Oh, I did want to mention as well, I was told that I'm very, very, very far away from the mass inscriber, so I did go ahead and replace a lot of this with integrated dynamics. I still have to replace this side of it with integrated dynamics because, I haven't, just because it's a little bit annoying. These aren't so annoying because I can just, wrench out the middle, and now I can just put a blank variable card in here for true and have it always export, because these are still sided. They're very sided, right? So you can still kind of do that with them. The only thing I had to change was the conduits for power had to be running up the back now. And yeah, so basically all it is the delay, the latency between an item becoming available and it being taken is a lot shorter with integrated dynamics than it is for Ender.io. And because these inscribers work one item at a time, that's kind of a necessary thing to make them faster. The speed upgrades for Ender.io conduits only make the stack size bigger, which doesn't actually help at all here because the stack size is locked to 1. The conduits still have to be used for at least one thing here, and for the first set of inscribers, the backside was free, so I could just run the power up there. For the finishing inscribers, they do need 3 inputs and 1 output. So for a column like this, that does use up all 4 sides. So at least one of them needs to be used with a conduit so I can run power up alongside it. I decided to run it with the output because the outputs in these machines do stack. So if everything else is fast but the output is slow, then they can speed up. They can sort of build up in a stack, and then Ender.io, if it's not fast enough, the stack upgrade should help because this is the last part of the chain. It will fill up in stacks, and then we can pull them out as fast as we want via stack size upgrades. I hope that all made enough sense. Yeah, I just have to finish it here because all of these I need to replace with ID. These are easy. I can just do this sort of a single item importer here, and then just item interfaces on the other side. Because these are all currently filtered in Ender.io, I will have to make variable cards for each type of item, and that is going to be pretty annoying. So I'm just putting it off. But the next time I need a lot of processors for something and I'm noticing it take a while, I'll probably just go ahead and do it. I could/should set up a similar thing for the alchemy table, because if we see the delay there when it pulled out the old item, you'll probably see it here too. Yeah, see, like that adds up when you're doing a big craft with lots of steps. So it's probably something that I should get set up here. Although, like I said, the multi-alchemy table parallelization is going to have significantly more of an effect than that. So I don't know if that's really worth doing before getting that set up. It's really not helped any by the fact that A2 seems to be locked into like a breadth first type mode. So like if you take a look at the crafting recipe, right? So it had to make like 64 of these simple catalysts, right? But it won't just craft them all at once. It'll craft like as many as it needs to craft the next tier, and then start crafting the next tier. And switching between different items is really what's causing a lot of it. Because if it wasn't switching between items so often, it could really just fill up the output as quick as it wants. These buckets are also staying in here a long time for the same problem, for the same reason, I should say. But yeah, it does want to switch between crafts really often. And sometimes it works out. Sometimes it gets pulled out pretty quick if you get lucky on the tick check, I guess, is how that works. But yeah, for the most part, it does slow it down quite a bit. So that is definitely something that we're going to have to fix sooner rather than later. But not today. Okay, we're finally done with all the crafts for today. So let's just go ahead and make the next few items. So first, just a couple blocks of this dark realm soul stuff. 3 potency cores along the top. Right-clicking items always is really glitchy in the crafting terminal. It works perfectly fine everywhere else, but not here. Oh, I'm going to have to look up the order that these go in, aren't I? It is spring, summer, winter, autumn. I was thinking, I probably could have guessed that, but it's actually not in season order, so I don't really know what it is. I guess if you go, like, counterclockwise it is, but whatever. So there we go. Lots of hard work went into those items that are now gone forever, but that's okay. That's how it works. And now 2 sparks, like I said, takes exactly 8 methane, which we had just enough for. And we got an advancement even and a quest. You don't see that every day, maybe every few days, but it is kind of rare. But anyway, yeah, so there, 3 methane back. That's the least concerning thing there. A root of mana, which didn't even go into making that, and we can grab an extra 6 souls from that one. So that's everything we need to make Terra Steel. But we're going to get to that tomorrow. So I want to say lots of progress today. So I will. I think we did make lots of progress today. But more progress coming tomorrow for sure. But for now, if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. And I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.